Well, good morning, church. Thank you for joining us for our daily Devo. Today we're in Judges chapter 16, and we're going to focus on the end of Samson's life, but we really need to back up some to understand who Samson was. He was a man anointed by God who was given supernatural strength, and God used that strength really against Israel's main enemy at the moment, which was the Philistines. And the Philistines, man, they couldn't do anything. Everything they tried with Samson seemed not to work. They failed again and again. They couldn't defeat him. They couldn't trick him. And so they were kind of at a stalemate. And, Samson was that person who was really used greatly by God, but he was kind of driven by his passions and his passion for women. And so rather than to marry an Israelite woman, which was what he should do, which God commanded the nation of Israel to marry within their own tribe, within the nation, instead, he went after the Philistines. And because of that, every bad thing that happened in his life happened that way. And we come into chapter 16, we read about Delilah, who is persuaded by the Philistines to figure out where Samson got this supernatural strength. And if you read the story, she keeps trying to find out. And when he tells her something, she tries it, and it doesn't work. And so, if anything, he should have known, hey, I told her that she could bind me and with this and that would make me lose my strength. It didn't. Maybe she doesn't have the best intentions with me. And yet he's so blinded, he doesn't even see that. Until finally he tells her he had a Nazirite act, which one of the things is you would not cut your hair. So she cuts his hair while he's sleeping. And then she says, as she's done before, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. And as soon as he wakes, he realizes that blessing from God that gave him supernatural strength, it wasn't there. And so they capture him, they take him back, they blind him, and it seems like his life is over. He's now rotten away as the Philistines are just having such celebration that the great Samson has now fallen. And yet they have a celebration and they want to see Samson. And so they bring Samson out, and Samson prays to God one more time. Give me just one more time, God, that I can use the strength you've given me against your enemy, the Philistines. And he has them bring him to this columns, these two major columns that obviously he knew was there when he had eyes. And then he reaches to the columns and he pushes them out. And it takes his life, but it also takes the lives of so many of the Philistines that were there. And then we have the sadness of his family coming and taking his body. And, I guess I look at that and see that, yes, God did use Samson at the end of his life, but so much potential was wasted because Samson lost his focus, because Samson got sidetracked. And I think we're in that challenge today. See, the world we live into, it offers us everything. It tells us, hey, go for pleasure, feel good. Go for possessions. Go for power. Go for prestige. It tries to sell us on the idea that this is all there is. So we need to go for it. We need to enjoy the whole thing. Purpose of this life is just to have as much fun as we can. And yet really, the purpose of this life is to make sure we're ready for the next. To make sure we have a relationship with Christ, and then to make sure we can help as many people as possible come to know Christ and get ready for the next. And so I would just say, be careful. There are so many things that can sidetrack us. There's bad choices we can make. We want to make sure we walk with God, making right choices day by day. But I will say this, no matter what bad choices you make, God is far more concerned with where you go from here than how you got here. God is a master of the second chance or the third chance. Don't think that you blow it so big that God cannot still use you. He can. If we've blown it, we just confess, God, I'm sorry. My life has got off track. I'm pursuing the wrong things. God, I want to rededicate my life. I want to follow you. And I promise you, if you do that, God can use you more than you can even imagine. Just as Samson, it looked like, how could God ever use a man who was so defeated? Eyes had been taken out, and yet he prayed. God gave him the opportunity, and God used him one more time. God has not given up on you. Don't give up on yourself. Guys, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us for our Daily Devo.